What is up, all my dorks, nerds, geeks, and gamers? I got one more video for you today. It's another new game that I've never heard of, but I saw in the PlayStation Store, and I figured I'd do some research to check it out because I was kind of interested in it. Excuse me. And that game is called Outward, and it's coming to PS4 and Xbox One, I believe, and PC. So we're going to be checking that game out, checking out the gameplay, and talking about it. Because why not? Like I said, why not hop into the gameplay first thing if you never heard of a game? And judge it based on that. So let's hop right in. Alright, so it looks very much like a
If you had to
RPG.
fight a monster that is 10 times your weight, how would you approach the situation? If you're
with a
smart,
big weapon.
you wouldn't rush into it. You would devise a plan.
Yes.
This is how we approach combat in Outward. Rather than send you flinging a sword at a gigantic monster, the player must find clever ways to gain the upper hand.
So it's like
even
an
when
RPG
fighting something
Diablo-esque,
as mundane as two bandits.
kind of.
The first thing to keep
Better
in mind
graphics.
in combat
Graphics look really
is whether
amazing.
or not your enemy is stable on its
And the
feet.
character customization looks really good as well.
Your attacks do not
Because all
stagger
these
the
characters
enemy,
look different.
so you need to poke at their defense until the pressure makes them flinch.
Okay.
Once they lose their footing, an opportunity opens up and you can land a vicious combo without fear of retaliation.
So it's a game
Early
of
on,
footsies.
You don't know a lot of tricks to gain the upper hand. However, you can use tools and switch equipment. You could, for instance, coat a weapon with poison,
Okay.
place a trap on the floor, and start the fight from a safe distance with a couple of arrows.
It's all about
Apply
strategy.
the poison by placing a few hits with your melee weapon, then wait defensively behind a shield until your enemy collapses. Eventually, you will meet
mix of
trainers
Dark Souls
and gain
meets
the
Diablo.
opportunity to learn skills and even unlock magic.
Okay.
We wanted magic to have a more ritualistic approach, in which we deconstruct spell casting step by step.
Alright.
The very first spell you learn is the Spark, a small flame that barely hurts anything, and on its own is probably more useful as a way to light up a fire than for combat.
Okay, well that's fine though.
Yet,
So I'm sure you'll need
this
fire a
spark of
lot.
flame is more useful than it appears. Let's say you found a mana stone while mining, converted it to a firestone using alchemy, and knew how to
Oh, that's
expand
a
that
deep
firestone to
system.
create a magical fire sigil.
Oh wow.
And then cast Spark while standing in this fire sigil. Then you would have done the whole process to cast a fireball.
Oh wow.
This may sound impractical in a combat situation, but you can make firestones or buy them from an alchemist in preparation for what's ahead. You could even cast a sigil in anticipation of a fight and lure your enemies to your spot, then dodge in and out of your sigil to quickly throw multiple fireballs as long as your sigil is active.
Very complex.
This approach of decomposing your actions in multiple steps
my
also
god, that
applies
deer
to
looks
combat
ridiculous.
skills. For instance, a warrior that draws
I'm not
strength
eating
from
that meat.
her rage would need to either use a skill to fall into a deep state of rage or consume potions to attain the same effect, increasing the impact of her hits and thus decrease stability of our foes faster.
So it's going to be a very
Even
technical
better, she could
RPG.
consume her rage in a
A lot of
powerful
crafting,
twofold attack
a lot of
using
watching
the
your
feral
potions,
strike that will leave
a lot
her
of
foes
buffs
in
and
pain
debuffs.
bleeding, while also causing great damage. While most warrior skills don't
Very
use mana,
deep
these
RPG.
impressive feats damage a weapon's durability, so it will be
Even
wise
weapon
to bring more than
durability,
one weapon
so
to ensure you're not stuck fighting with
They
a
have it
dull
all,
blade
guys.
by the end of
If
a
you're looking
dungeon
for a
run.
realistic, not realistic, but a
There are many predators
fairly
in the world of Aura, but
challenging
there are also many tools at your disposal.
RPG. This is Outwards,
Not
the one
every
for you.
combat is handled the same, and it will be important to analyze every enemy to find a weakness you can exploit.
Right? That's every
In
game.
Outward, you can't just stand there and attack. You have to find your way of dealing with enemies, and the approach will often be indirect, but when everything happens according to plan, it is immensely gratifying.
True. It seems like it will be. Very cool design so far. Alright, well that was the end of that, guys. Let's talk about it. So, that was the combat of Outward. It was very quick taste. I never heard of the game before, but seeing that, it reminds me of a Diablo-esque third-person kind of RPG adventure. And it's going to be very deep, a lot of spells, a lot of changing your spells, a lot of making sure equipment's good enough to go, breakable objects, like they said, a lot of it is very deep, but only if you want to go that far. You can always just use poison, you can use the simple basics attacks and stuff to get through, play defensively, play a lot of footsies you might be able to get through, and I think that this could be a successful game. Even though it's my first time hearing about it, I'm still very excited about it. This is actually something I would be willing to pick up and try out. Depends on the price point. I haven't looked into that yet, but I know it comes out fairly soon, so I'm going to look into this game and I'm going to check it out, guys. Leave your comments down below if you guys are interested in Outward. If you're not, let me know as well. If you're into RPGs like this, let me know as well. Like, subscribe, and share, guys. Hit that notification bell. And until next time, as always, I've been your host, Ghost. Adios.